Hello and welcome to Twilight Sessions. My name is Prophet and I have a message for you today. Today is August 9th, 2025. It is the day after the 8/8 Lionsgate portal peak, although we are still in the portal for the next few days until the 12th of August. So, we're going to continue our readings even though it is after the peak. I don't know about you, but last night I had an extremely profound experience, and I'll be sharing it with you at the end of the video, so you don't have to stick around if you don't want. We'll get to the reading first, and then we'll have some story time. But I'm curious if you had any experiences that you were aware of. So let me know if you had any cool experiences last night. I'm genuinely so excited to know about your Lionsgate 2025 or whatever year you happen to be in. So you can stay around for that if you'd like. But today's reading and the intentions of this entire series is to tap into the energy of today during the Lionsgate portal. And so we are coming to a close, and I don't know about you, but I can definitely feel the energy starting to soften and wane. The energy is definitely waning. And so I would love to tap into the energy and see what we can do to kind of harvest the most out of this time and how we can support ourselves and the world around us at this time. So let's just get straight into the video. As always, we are extremely blessed to have Archangel Michael here to guide and protect us, and Jesus, the teacher and child of God, who, of course, we're all children of God. And so we've got these two beautiful energies here on this channel. So if those are resonating with you at this time, definitely stick around. All right, so how can we harness today's ebbing Lionsgate energy to the best of our abilities? What can we do today to really honor this time? Okay, all right. We're getting straight into it. So we are coming in strong with some cards we've seen before and some cards we have not seen yet. The first card in the spread is the Nine of Pentacles. This card has come up a few times now. And this is the card of abundance. This is the card of enjoying the life that you have, of seeing the garden that you have planted. And this card talks about the intentional planting of seeds. So, this is all metaphorical. So the seeds of intention, of action on all of this. So we've been intentionally planting seeds, and we've been watering them, and we've been weeding the garden, and we've been pruning and caring for and tending to this inner garden. And now we have just a beautiful Garden of Eden to enjoy. And this card is it has a picture of like a little topiary, so a well-kept little tree in a pot. And this is a project. This is somebody's project of love and intention, and somebody designed this, right? So that's the energy that we are experiencing at this time. And this is a call to enjoy what is already around you. Kind of enjoy the ebbing nature of the Lionsgate portal as we are passing through it. Okay, so we've got the Elder of Wands coming out, and this is a very analytical card. And so we've got actually 3 cards here in the center of this 5-card spread. We've got the Elder of Wands, the Two of Wands, and then on the other side of the Two of Wands, we've got the Hierophant. So this is 2 sides of you. So the Two of Wands is in the center of this reading. And this is, two tools that you can use. We've got Jude. We've got a black cat. He's a black cat. Hey, black cat. Nice. So we've got the Two of Wands, and this is harnessing your abilities to create something, anything that you want. And so the Elder of Swords is the analytical mind. The Hierophant is structure. I think it's very interesting that both of these cards, actually all of these cards, are very structured. So at this time, we're being called to create structure. That's what the Two of Wands is. So you're using your analytical mind, the Elder of Swords, ability to use your intellect, your knowledge, and the kind of like practical skills that you have to create a structure. And because this is the Hierophant, we're talking about something that is deeply spiritual. And the last card in this spread here is the Three of Wands. And this card did come up yesterday as well. And this is, well, this card yesterday was leading us to the end of the portal. So we are being guided through the end of this. And this is following your intuition or your spirit guides or the signs and synchronicities all around you or all of the above to something. So you're following your intuition, you're following your guides, you're following the signs. So you're being guided, basically. So the message here is to cultivate your perfect, dream life. And with the Hierophant, that's going to require study. And this could be study of external sources, but in this instance, I'm feeling that it's more internal study. And so with the Elder of Wands, what's being called to be explored here is how can you practically implement all of the cool things that we've picked up during Lionsgate into your everyday life moving forward. So this would be integrating your spiritual practice into your everyday life. And that's kind of what I'm thinking this Lionsgate portal was all about, was really, really going deep into the spiritual side of yourself. These readings have been a really lovely way to take time every day to, Jude, my goodness, hi. My gosh. These readings have been a good time to set aside every single day during the Lionsgate to kind of experience the energy that is present. And that's a really lovely way to embrace the spiritual in your everyday life, right? So the Hierophant is here to remind you to do some studying. You might have a mentor or some guides. You might be called to like Buddhism or, maybe Jesus. So you might have some sort of guru or teacher, and that's great. One thing that I'm being called to remind you is that the Hierophant card specifically is if you do have a teacher of any kind, a good teacher will teach you how to find the knowledge on your own and kind of teach you what you're missing so that way you can find it. Whereas like a bad teacher will just tell you what they think you should know and kind of act like they have all the answers. So just as you're studying your spiritual practice, just be aware of any time that someone might be forcing their views on you when they don't feel right to you. Especially if they're forcing their views onto you in a way that makes it feel like it's their way or there is no other way. Because there is an infinite number of ways to get to God. And there is no one correct way for all people. So anyway, this whole spread here is all about creating your spiritual practice and bringing it into your everyday life. So we've got the Two of Wands, and that can be seen as the spiritual and the physical kind of working together. So how can you infuse all of your life with spirit? How can you bring your spiritual practice into your everyday life? Because that's what's going to make both the spiritual practice extra powerful and the material life extra powerful. So there is no need to separate the two anymore. We can have them all as one. All right, sorry, Jude is currently chewing on some cords on my tripod. I hope you can't hear that. So let's see, what else do we have? Oh, wow, okay. A lot of cards just popped out. Oh, that's very interesting. Okay, all right, let's see what's going on. Wow, this is a really interesting little Little spread lit. Okay, so we've got three cards here that are talking about feeling like an outsider or feeling unsafe in some way. Jude is currently chewing on a piece of selenite wand. Thank you, Jude. I've got some crystals kind of in front of me right now, and Jude likes to play with them. He has ever since he was a kitten. Anyway, so we've got the Eight of Swords. This came up earlier in the week, and this is feeling like an outsider, and also having the ability to set yourself free, right? So we've got the 7 swords tied up to the tree and then one on the outside. That one on the outside can easily cut the rope and let the rest loose. So there is potential that you feel like an outsider at this time. And I think that's normal in the spiritual journey, especially since at this point, kind of like looking at the spread, I'm thinking you don't have like an integrated practice yet. And so you might have like this 9 of Swords energy of feeling like you're overthinking things. You might be feeling kind of threatened by something, the weight of the world, or like you're worried about getting it wrong or not doing it right or missing something or something like that. And this is falling right beneath the Elder of Swords. So like this is 2 sides of your thinking mind. We've got like the Elder, which is, you know, I say this all the time about the kings. This is the king. This is like the most mature, wise, knowing how to plan and complete things. So in this case, thoughts. And then we've got beneath that kind of, so maybe even in the past or underlying, there might be some anxiety. And that's okay. And then we've got the 5 of Pentacles, and this has come out, I think, a couple of different times now. And this card is all about feeling isolated and alone and, you know, wandering wounded through the woods, which isn't a great feeling, I would imagine. So these are 3 very kind of dark energies that are still present or might be like underlying your current experience. But I think that's perfectly normal during a time of change like the one that we're in right now. And then we've got the Guardian of Wands coming up after these 3 cards, which is the Queen of Wands energy. And so this is a nurturing, creative energy. So the Queen of Wands, which is an aspect of yourself, is going to be able to take all of those parts of yourself that are feeling anxious and like an outsider, and you'll be able to recognize how those things used to be helpful and kind of like why you have them in the first place. Excuse me. Specific examples aren't needed, so you don't need to be like, oh, like, you know, these thoughts are because one time when I was 7 years old, something happened. Like, it doesn't have to be that specific, but it will be along the lines of, oh, I recognize I'm having anxious thoughts. I'm going to tap into the Guardian of Wands energy to help soothe myself, to help calm myself down, to nurture myself, right? We've got the Queen energy is a very nurturing energy. Yeah, we've got devotion and warmth. When you create and care for something vibrant, you align with your inner Guardian of Wands. Just as this salamander tends to the fire, you are asked to fan the flames of what matters to you. Devote to your craft, your vision, your passion. Where are you called to light up the night? So that's exactly right. And this is falling right beneath the Hierophant as well. So this Guardian of Wands is the tender of your soul's flame. And we can see here in the Hierophant, like there's like a little light coming through the stone circle here. And I'm seeing like that's the light of your soul starting to shine through the stone circle that is your life, your body. And then again, we've got like this theme of little lights in the darkness over here. So this is your soul guiding you, and it might take the form of external things like angels or signs and synchronicities, other human beings or animals, that kind of thing, but they're all just fragments of your soul. And then the last card that we have coming up in this little spread here is the Strength card. Again, I think this is the 3rd or 4th day consecutively that we've pulled the Strength card. So we're going to quickly pull up the Strength card message because it's feeling like an important message here. I just want to make sure that we're really getting the most of it. Right, so we've got fortitude, patience, and gentle power. Strength coaxes you to take a gentle but confident approach. There is a similar boldness to strength as found in the chariot, but there is more grace and softness here. Strength affirms that you can bloom delicately even if you find yourself in a harsh environment. Approach challenges with fortitude instead of ruthlessly bulldozing forward. Find empathy for the terrain you find yourself in. Have the patience to understand your circumstances and find ways to work with them rather than against them. So, yes, I think we read that yesterday too, and it still stands true, and I think it's even more clear today of like, we are stepping into our Guardian of Wands era, basically. We are becoming the conscious tenders of our own flame, and strength is helping us to accept that task, right? Like I've said this before, when you become a conscious and awake person, you now have responsibility to create the best life for yourself because you see that nobody else is going to do it for you. There is no external factors that can make or break your life. You can always change your situation, even if it's challenging. And that's where the strength card is reminding us that you have access to the strength that you need, and the strength is coming from compassion. The strength is coming from understanding that while we can't control the environment around us, we can still find ways to nourish our roots and to bloom in the sun. So, you know, this picture here with the cactus, you know, there's kind of like a storm brewing, and there's like, you know, desert terrain. In the Rider White, you know, the traditional deck, this is a picture of a person with their hands on the jaws of a lion, which is a wild animal. And so this is kind of like a dire circumstance of like, if I don't have the strength to stand up to this harsh environment or this wild animal, like I could die, you know, like so the stakes are really high in this card, but it's saying that you have the strength, and the strength is coming from gentleness, compassion, and this is really well embodied with the Guardian of Wands. The the Six of Cups is coming up again. This is just kind of at the bottom of the deck here. Again, so as you go forward, I can feel the beginnings of this already, that as we step out of this portal and into the new earth, your cup is going to be overflowing. You are going to have so much joy and love to share that you will never need to worry about receiving ever again. You will always have enough and more. You will just know that is the thing. Like that's the knowledge that we're coming into. So what I'm hearing is that with this Guardian of Wands, who I really feel is the energy that we're coming into, the top row of this spread here is kind of what you should be doing with the Guardian of Wands. So use your Guardian of Wands energy, like that mentality of like leadership and compassion, and use that to create a spiritual practice that means a lot to you. And this is using your Elder of Swords, which is not overthinking, not overanalyzing, but being aware that there is a time and a place for all things. And so you'll be able to fit in what you need to fit in naturally. It'll be super easy for you to create this dream life for yourself. All right, are there any other messages that need to come through for today, for day 11 of the Lion's Gates portal 2025? Ooh, we've got Justice coming out again. So the Justice card is, we're talking about actions and effects. We're talking about justice. We're talking about the interconnectedness of all things. So in this card, I'm seeing that all actions ripple out into the world around you. And this card feels connected to the the Six of Cups that popped out earlier. This is telling me that as you give, there is more to give. So as you give out into the world receives more abundance because you're giving it abundance. And that can only lead to positive outcomes for all. So in this instance, the Justice card is calling me to remind you that your actions have impact. And so as you give, the world receives. I don't know, that's just how it's coming out. It feels kind of simplistic and unfinished, but as you give, the world receives. And so what are you giving the world? There was a message that came to me this morning, because I'm super tapped in right now. And the message was, don't come empty-handed. When you meet them, and I'm not sure who they are, there was something about teachers. Give them the most valuable object that you have. Like, don't come empty-handed, bring them a gift. Bring your guides a gift of value, like the highest value you can muster. And I'm not sure exactly what that meant, but this Justice and Six of Cups cards is like telling me that like that act of giving is going to ripple out in ways that you will never see. Like, you don't understand how much that's going to ripple out. So that's the message for today. Yeah, it feels a little muddy to me right now, but I'm thinking on the other side of this camera, as you're receiving this, it'll start to make sense. And I also feel that it'll make more sense tomorrow and the next day and the next day as we continue through this portal. Because right now we're still in the portal, and I don't know about you, but I can still feel the portal. So yesterday, I guess we're gonna jump into story time now. So if you don't want to listen to story time, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. It has been an honor and a joy to read for you as always. Do come back for tomorrow's reading, day 12 of our Lionsgate reading, to see what kind of energies we have in store for us tomorrow. Awesome. So I'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, you're welcome to stick around and hear a little story time. But last night, I was laying in the backyard in the hammock. I didn't get off work until about 9 o'clock last night, and so I got home and it was already dark out. And so I took my tea out back, which is pretty normal. And I was just laying in the hammock looking at the stars, and I asked myself, what does Lionsgate feel like? And this is what I wrote down in the moment. I said, Lionsgate feels like laying in a calming bath of divine energy, having my spiritual software updated, starting to understand that there is something worth understanding, and knowing that it will all be okay. So that was what Lionsgate felt like to me last night. I'm curious what you felt, if anything. That was the peak, and it definitely felt like the peak. So then later on I went to bed and I was doing some meditating, and like I might have mentioned before, I've been using crystals to meditate. And I was able to very quickly tap in and center. And I felt Kundalini awakening. And it was dizzying. Like, I felt a little bit dizzy. I was sitting, so I was like, it was fine. But I mean, the light went straight up my spine. Like, it was pure white light, and it went straight up and out the top of my head. And so I was experiencing that. It was pretty crazy. It tingled a lot. And then I noticed my chakras, right? It was hitting through each of my chakras, the Sushumna, the Kundalini energy was shooting up through the chakras. And I noticed my root chakra, it went out. It just disappeared. So the light went out, and then it literally flickered back on, and it came back on stronger and clear. It was very pure red light. And then it went up to the next one. It went up to the sacral chakra. Same thing, the sacral chakra went out. It was gone for a few seconds, and then it flickered back into existence, and it was pure orange. Very bright, very strong. And then the same thing happened to the solar plexus as well, and it went out and then came back on again. and very strong. And it was just starting to happen at my heart. My heart didn't go out. The heart chakra did not like go away. And at that point I got super sleepy and I laid down. I laid down with my crystals, one in each hand, and then I had one on my belly. And I just laid down and I immediately fell asleep. And I woke up in the same position at 3 in the morning. It was 3:12 when I looked at the clock. And I still had the crystals in my hands. I hadn't moved. And so I kind of set everything aside and put it all away. But I felt like I had been completely redone. Like my software had been updated and I had had a hard reset. And it was wild. So that was the story there. I woke up feeling pretty good this morning. A little bit hungover, I guess. I was a little bit groggy. And just kind of wanted to take it really slow. I did some writing this morning and stuff, but like nothing like super profound happened other than that. But I know that the effects of that are going to only get more kind of profound as the weeks go by. So that was like step 1, was reset my entire energy body. And then I don't know what's going to happen after that, but I expect it's going to be pretty good. Yeah, and so I'm just going to be using this reading as my guide to try to create the best possible spiritual practice that I can bring into the world and use every single action that I do as a prayer of gratitude to God for even being here at all. So that's kind of my take on this, but I would love to know yours. And again, if you had any cool experiences during your Lionsgate adventure, please leave a comment. I would love to hear. All right, my friends, that's it for me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy the beautiful day if it's a beautiful day for you, and enjoy the beautiful day if it's an overcast day for you. I will see you in tomorrow's video. We are not done with this thing yet. Let's ride this out to the end. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Blessed be, peace go with you, and goodbye.